Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Xochitl. If you are new here, I usually look a little bit more touched up when I have all my makeup on, but this is 9 hours of wearing this Anastasia Beverly Hills, their new foundation, their Luminous foundation, medium coverage foundation. $38. I picked up mine at Ulta. You can also probably get it from their website. They had 50 different shades, so super excited. And we're nearing the end of our check-in of how this foundation wore on my very dry skin. But before I take you on to like my first and a half impressions, because I had actually worn this foundation yesterday for the first time, and I realized the color was way too orange. It was a different color. The one that I had was 355N. The one I'm wearing is 320N, which I think looks like it works really well. But if you guys want to see my first impressions and how this wears throughout the day, first, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up with some more videos. All of these great foundation reviews, makeup tutorials, and everything in between. And I hope you guys enjoy this video. So just keep on watching on how I feel about this foundation. Hey guys, it's about 10:30 a.m. So I'm actually going to put on the foundation right now and do some couple of check-ins throughout the day and just kind of let you see how it's going, because I did technically put it on yesterday, but I got the wrong color. 355N is way too orange and it's a neutral. So today I have a 320N. I color matched it with the girl at Ulta. Hopefully this is my color. It looked a little bit better. Couldn't really notice it. She did like the chin kind of match or whatever. I don't know what was going on, but a lot of the neutrals were warm, which is interesting. So comes with a pump. So we're going to do one side of the face with a beauty blender and then the other side of my face with a brush, just to kind of see. This is a medium coverage. It's supposed to be a luminous finish, so I'm excited. Medium coverage, luminous finish. Like, that's hard. Usually it's like a luminous finish and it's like a light. But let's see what's up. So let's do the beauty blender, because I kind of played around with it yesterday, but I was more concerned with how it was possibly too dark and orange. So let's see how this goes. Let's blend that out with the beauty blender. Yeah, and that's why I'm so glad I kind of have these lights, because I was like, I had my little mirror with the lights, but it was still kind of dark on that side, and I can kind of see that it was too dark. Perfect. Let me check underneath these lights. Yeah, that looks way, yep, that's more my color. 320 to 355. What a jump. But I had tested it out, swatched it on my hand at night under the Ulta lighting. Still a little bit better than Sephora lighting, but still that was too dark. Because I was afraid this one's going to be maybe like too ashy, too light. But I was like, we'll see if it oxidizes. But luckily they also had my color. Because, you know, everybody's excited for this. So a bunch of the other colors in between, there's some like in between missing. I was like, oh, I hope I'm not like match for that in-between color. So I would definitely agree. That's like a nice medium coverage. With the sponge, I would probably just add like a half layer, just dot it around areas I might need. But this is the sponge side. That looks better already compared to this side. Oh yeah. Ooh, and it doesn't look cakey so far. Now let's try with a brush. What happens when you comb your hair first? Trying not to get it and you do your eyebrows. All right, now the brush that I'm going to use, because I think my Wet n Wild brush is dirty, I'm going to use my Makeup Geek stippling or my flat top blending brush just to kind of see. Ooh. Oh, that definitely gives you more coverage for sure. But the question is, which method do I like better for dry skin? Usually dewy, like luminous foundations, a brush does work great, because I feel like they don't need as much help from a beauty blender to like blend them out. Also, those tend to be more sheer, so they need that a little extra help from the brush for coverage. But this is already medium dewy, so interesting. I feel like this, yeah, definitely way more coverage. Oh, that's nice. Okay, if you want that medium coverage, go in with the brush. Like, I think my method would be like all around with the brush and then just smooth it out with the beauty blender. If anything needs to be smooth but doesn't look streaky, that blended out really easily. Just need to pat that. Oh yeah, just pat it in there. Oh, okay, I like a brush. Ooh, Oh, yeah. I think if maybe you don't want as much coverage, go with the Beauty Blender. But if you're like me, oh my god, that's nice. Okay, I think I'm gonna go all around with the brush. Oh, luminous and coverage. All right, let's see if we can get some. This side just needs a little extra coverage because honestly, I think the side with the brush doesn't need another layer. So there's that. So we're just gonna even this out. Yeah, I'm good on this side. Holy shit. Okay, that's nice. Woo! Oh my god, let's see how it sets. Oh, and if you guys are curious, the face primer that I used was my tried and true L'Oreal Pro Glow. Yeah, I personally like a brush just to get that coverage. I feel like for dry skin, I tend to lean towards your Beauty Blender with foundations because they tend to be like more natural satin, so they need like that little extra moisture. But this is Luminous, so we are good. You can go either way, but I feel like, yeah, the difference with a Beauty Blender than with a brush, there's a difference coverage wise. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks so dewy, luminous. I wonder how oily girls are doing with this because I love this. Okay, I am going to finish up the rest of my face and I'll be right back before I rush out the door. Actually, I might not be right back. I'm just gonna finish the rest of my face, maybe do a final check-in outside because I gotta go to brunch. I'll see you guys in a bit, maybe a couple hours. We'll see how this goes overall. Hey guys, so I just want to do a quick check-in with you. Last time I saw you was about 10:30 when I was finishing up my makeup. It is now 4:23 p.m. so like 6 hours later, and we've been wearing this foundation, and I've gotta say, so far so good because I have just been outside pretty much from like 11:30 to about like 2:30, almost 3 o'clock. Outside it's like mid to high 80s. I don't know how my face has stayed on, but it has. Even when I kind of felt like, ooh, I kind of felt like maybe I was like, should my like face be falling off right now? Checking in, we're still doing good. Definitely a dewy, luminous finish. Definitely, like so dewy, luminous. The fact that I'm loving it, I'm wondering if any oily skin people would love it. Like, I kind of doubt that they would because the way this looks on camera, like, I'm loving it. Given the heat, I feel like it's probably not looking as wonderful as it could, but it's held on and still looks pretty good. So I was kind of like just doing check-ins, like my skin, like I still see that like medium coverage on, like the coverage is still great. My nose, I've had my sunglasses on, so definitely you'll kind of find like those little indents there. But I am really liking it. I feel like definitely have to set your smile lines, kind of like to pet those in every once in a while because this is a more dewy luminous. Given that, what comes with dewy luminous foundations, they look great, but you gotta be careful because they still have, this one isn't as sticky, but it's kind of has that touch on there. Like I have been wearing it for a while. I feel like I definitely kind of felt it a little bit more when I finished putting it on at my face. So you kind of have like that tackiness a little bit. So you got to kind of, you can't fully set it unless you set it with powder, but then you're kind of getting rid of that luminosity depending on the powder that you're using. But 6 hours in the heat, this is doing pretty good. I like it. Super duper luminous. So I feel like this heat, this would not work for oily skin people. Now I feel like sometimes when it's hotter, maybe I prefer a little bit something more natural satin matte, just so that it will, like the luminous will peak in there and not feel like overly just like sweating off, because it is a medium coverage. I don't fully feel a heaviness to it, but with this heat I kind of feel like I feel the foundation on my face a little bit more. But I like the fact that they launched this in August, so therefore it's going to be a great fall foundation. So I'm going to wear this for a couple more hours because eventually I'm just going to want to wash my face off and just chill at home. But I'm pretty happy. Like, I was impressed with that medium coverage, like with the brush. Oh my god, I loved it. Like, I'm looking forward to using this foundation again. I feel like maybe it did oxidize a little bit, but that kind of worked in my favor because I feel as though maybe I was like, ooh, is this a little light? But no, I think it oxidized to like it matched my neck really, really well. So I feel like that's another thing to take into consideration. So maybe go, if you had to choose between a hint lighter and a hint darker, I would definitely choose maybe like a hint lighter because it's going to oxidize just a little bit. And this is a neutral tone and it didn't oxidize like orange. So that's also something really great. But I'm loving it so far. I am looking forward to using this again, and not like a super hot environment. Like, I'm not trying to be outside all day. I know tomorrow I'm going to be more like running around, but it's going to be like outside and then inside. We're going to the movie, so chill in the AC a little bit. Feel like it'll give it an even better chance. But I like it so far. So I'm going to check back in a couple of more hours before the end of the day, before I wash it off, because at least like 8+ hours. Let's see how this kind of goes now that I'm chilling indoors. And I haven't like sat or done anything. I haven't touched anything up. Obviously, this lipstick though. This lipstick's still hanging on. And I had mimosas. I had food. I had brunch. That brunch lasted like 3 hours or so, 4 hours. And so far so good. My bronzer and everything's still kind of staying on. You can see my highlight. Like, we're good. I didn't do blush today, but I'm liking it. Hey guys, so it is now 7:30, so I've been wearing this foundation for about 9 hours now, and I'm honestly ready to take it off. We just finished watching a movie. I'm getting sleepy at 7:30 p.m. on a Sunday night, but I want to take off this foundation because honestly, this foundation is a foundation and you can feel. This is definitely, yeah, medium coverage, but I can feel it. It's not lightweight. It's not like a natural skin finish. This is kind of very much a foundation I would reach towards like a glam day. Like, this isn't compared to like my other ones, which are definitely, they're medium coverage, but they're not as heavy feeling. This is not a foundation I would also recommend in this heat to be like outside, like sitting outside in like 80, 87, almost 90 degree weather. With that, I wanted to do my final check-in, and I even like just took off my lashes. I just put on some mascara, but I haven't touched up. And honestly, the 9 hour mark maybe isn't my favorite of how this foundation is wearing. It's definitely kind of like coming off a little bit, especially like around my mouth, my nose area, but I like that it's not peeling, like cracking off like normally some foundations have done that are maybe more mattifying. That's usually happens. Like, it's a little bit more graceful of a kind of a fade off, but I definitely see it fading. I think I much preferred it around like that 6 hour mark or a little bit before that. I think the 4 hour mark, it was looking great. 6 hour, I was still liking it. I was like, all right, for the heat, you held up pretty well. Now this 9 hour mark, I'm just kind of like, I feel like this isn't the most long wearing either, or at least maybe with the heat, you know, it can probably last a little longer if I didn't have it out as long as I did. So the fact that it's like, you know, looking okay, I'm like, I'm not judging it too hard. It could look worse. We're definitely a little bit dry for sure around my chin area where I get a little bit dry. Like, this little area is dry. I didn't really cake up too much around my nose, which I'm surprised about. But it's definitely one of those, is like, yeah, it's about time to take off this foundation. So my final thoughts on this foundation, I like the packaging. Well, part of the packaging. So I like that it has a pump. I like the glass bottle. I feel as though this would have been just fine. Let me know, comment down below, how do you feel about the fact that they put, I don't know, I wasn't a fan of that font, or it just felt off brand a little bit to me. I don't know. I don't know if this is something new they're going to try to do. It was just weird. Let me know if you feel the same. Maybe somebody comment if you know why, or, you know, I don't know. Am I the only one? I feel like I'm not the only one who feels weird about that on there. Like, I think this would have just been perfect. But I do also like that it does come with a pump, especially for $38. One thing I will say, the neutrals, some of the neutrals, the shades, I would say this is the foundation you should try to get color matched and swatch in stores, because like I said, I had a 355N, N for neutral. They have neutral, warms, and cools, 50 different shades, and I fall between the neutrals, and I was swatching at night at Ulta, and the Ulta lighting wasn't that great, and sometimes I'm like, should I go like a little bit lighter? The other ones look like they might be ashy, and the 355N, I was like, oh, let's go with this, I guess. But you know, I have tan, I'm probably a little bit darker on my arm. So I tried it on at home. I wish I would have saved the video in Instagram, and I was like, is this kind of dark? And I kind of went to these studio lights. I was like, yep, that is orange, and that's a neutral. So when I went to exchange this with the girl, she was just like, oh, well, let's try some, and she was picking up some neutrals and some warms, you know, mixing it up, and the warm, she's like, oh, that's orange, and then like she swatched a neutral, and I was like, those neutrals are orange, huh? Like, or these are orange. She's like, yeah, the warms are orange. I was like, that's a neutral. She's like, oh man. So be careful of that, I would say, because I feel like the darker you go in the spectrum, the neutrals, you know, are very warm and orange. So I found that interesting. Mine, 320N, I think this is a good shade. Like I said, I think it might oxidize just a wee bit, so maybe a little bit lighter than darker. I feel like I just kind of had that experience, but I think this shade, this is my color shade overall. Blendability, I think if you want that medium coverage right off the bat, go with a flat or just a brush in general. Like that coverage is probably, that's like the most medium coverage that they're trying to advertise as possible. Whereas, yeah, with the Beauty Blender, I feel like it really sheared it out. Like in comparison, you would have to go in with like maybe 2 layers with the Beauty Blender to kind of get the same of the type of medium coverage side. With that said, it's medium coverage, and there's definitely some foundations that are very lightweight feeling medium coverage. I think the con from this is you can feel this. That's why I feel like this is more of a special occasion going out, not like my everyday foundation type of a deal, because it did definitely feel on the heavier side. But with that, it's summer, so I'm just kind of like, you know what? In the fall, I think this is going to be great, and who knows, this could be like my everyday. This can be an everyday glam girls foundation. If you're someone who doesn't want to feel like you're wearing foundation, this might be your thing. If you're like me and you don't care, you beach face, you do glam all around, I think you're going to be okay with it. It's not going to be a total like con from this foundation. I fell in love with the dewy luminosity of this. This is exactly what they said it was going to be, a luminous medium coverage foundation. So a couple of things: vegan, gluten-free, alcohol-free. I know that's definitely something I was trying to look in for dry skin. So I was like, saw that, I was like, ooh, nice. Clinically tested, dermatologist tested, ophthalmologist tested, everybody tested it. Non-comedogenic, suitable for sensitive skin, long wearing, no flashback. I feel like with the long wearing, I'm like, okay, all right, it was really hot. It was really hot. You're not meant to like be outside like that and have your face dripping off. So I feel like, just given how it looked around like a 6-hour mark, I was like, all right, let's try this again, maybe when it's not too hot. But the fact that it did hold up during this heat, I'm like, okay, I can kind of see maybe those long wearing claims. But would I want to wear it that long is the question, just because like feels like foundation, maybe just because it was like lazy Sunday and I just want to chill. I was just like, I'm ready to take my face off type of a deal. But maybe if I was out and about, had a longer day, like maybe work, events or something like that, and you're just so busy to like notice your foundation or want to take a nap or have time for a nap, then maybe it probably wouldn't bother you. You wouldn't notice it. Given the luminosity of this foundation, the fact that I loved it, I really feel like oily skin is probably not gonna like it. Like this was dewy luminous. I feel like even sometimes when I put on like luminous foundations and I blend it on my face, I feel like, you know, it kind of, not like, well, as it dries up, it kind of like doesn't look as like luminous as intensely, and this one still kind of stayed like that. So I'm just honestly, I don't know if oily skin people will like this foundation. Normal, I feel like it can go either way, but for sure I would say prime your face with the mattifying primer and set it mattifying if you want to not have as much oil like seeping through your face. Because even for me, for dry skin, I'm just kind of like, could maybe look a little oily like on my forehead. Yeah, like even on camera, and it's like oily, but then it's like, but do I mind? You know? I never have that problem, so I'm just kind of like, ooh, I'm not totally mad at it, because I'd rather that than looking dry. I feel like oily skin people, maybe it's just me, dry skin, but like don't complain about feeling oily because I wish I could, you know, like, because feeling and looking dry is just way worse than like looking oily. I feel like, what do you guys think? Do you think it's worse to look oily or worse to look really dry? And I feel like, let me know what your skin type is, because that might determine your answer. You might really only know which, like one answer, what one of them is. But this one, I definitely like, I'm like one of those girls, like, should I blot type of a deal. But it's just so luminous. I can see that bothering some people maybe. I'm kind of not minding it. I think overall, this is definitely a foundation anyone with a dry skin should try. I feel like there's just so many luminous, dewy foundations coming out specifically for dry to normal skin, because, you know, y'all can go either way, and I'm down for it. I think I saw someone like complain. They must have been an oily skin person. No offense if you are, but I think they like complained on like one of like the Instagram posts. It's like, oh great, another like luminous foundation. Like oily skin people won't want that. It's like, you know what? That's how I feel about every time they come out with a matte foundation. It's like yet another freaking matte foundation. Like oily skin people, you don't even know. You don't even know. Don't even come here. I'm offended. I'm offended by that comment. Don't even start. Because almost every foundation is meant for like normal to oily skin. Like us dry skin girls, yes, it is our time. 2019, this is it. And I'm just glad that Anastasia Beverly Hills did it for the dry skin people, especially normally dry, but really a dry skin people. A Luminous foundation. I think this is one that you should totally try out if you're dry skin, and you can kind of really determine if you're gonna like it or not. For me, wearing it today in this heat, I'm just kind of like excited to wear it tomorrow when I'm going to be in more AC, not outside all day. And I feel like this is a foundation I'm just going to like even more and more. So I still want to play with it. And I'm looking forward to like trying it a couple more times, a couple of different ways, maybe some different primers. Today I tried my L'Oreal Pro Glow Primer, which is going to give me that hint of luminosity for my skin, or prep my skin with some luminosity. So I'm wondering, is like, do I need that primer? Do we need all that luminosity? Maybe not. Maybe I can finally use the E.L.F Poreless Putty Primer all around, since this foundation is going to give me a luminosity. Actually, let's maybe do that. Let's do a tutorial and check it out. Some couple of different foundations, maybe the Hydro Grip Primer, see which one I like the most. But let me know if you have tried this foundation, what your skin type is, and you liked it or not, or if you're thinking about picking this up, because honestly, I encourage it. I'm not like over the moon, like wow, you know, about it right now, but I feel like it's one of those foundations that's kind of gonna grow on me. And I am one of those like glam girls, like let me, like this is a special, every day should be a special occasion. Every day is a special day. So I think I'm really gonna enjoy wearing this foundation. But I hope you guys really enjoyed this review and demo, first impressions check-in type of video of the Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous foundation. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with some more videos, because you know I'm coming for that Fenty foundation. So I'm excited, and honestly I feel like with this one and the Fenty people and myself are like, well, which one should I get? So I definitely want to try it out and let you know my final thoughts on that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I am off to watch the first Pokemon movie, because we just watched Detective Pikachu. So let's watch the first Pokemon movie, and I'm about to cry. So I'm about to wash my face off, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in my next video.